Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with 3-nen Z-gumi Ginpachi Sensei episode number 2 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, it was beginning of this show and as always Gintama is hilarious. We have the same comedy back. We have the characters who it's been a while we've seen them. They're also back. And we got to meet Ginpachi Sensei's class. All the students and everything. And the episode started with the threat of Ginpachi Sensei here, his salary being, there was a threat of it getting like reduced. Hata told him that if his class is not able to get like 80 above in one subject at least, they'll have to come for the supplementary lessons, and yeah, Gintoki's pay would be cut. And so they made this whole thing to properly study and give the exam. But in the end, we got to see that Hata was planning to kind of deliberately, like fail them by making the test papers hard. And yeah, just because he was jealous of Ginpachi, because Ginpachi is so popular. But anyways, it was kind of funny to see all of the characters, doing these weird type of things in like a high school setting. So I'm looking forward to seeing the other characters. Let's see. Episode number 2, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference. Let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What the? Where? Oh no. Okay. This is the opening. Oh, we already saw the opening. I forgot about it. Okay. Second episode, 3-part. What the hell? Wow. Right. God damn. Students are just going crazy. I can hear Catherine's voice. Yeah, what's happening here? Is Ginpachi dreaming? Alright, stop putting mayonnaise. Oh my god. Bruh. Right. Damn, I want a rematch. Catherine's just. What the hell? You're the corpse. Oh, wait, why are they? Well, wait, what? Yeah, but they are kind of. What? Yo, this is. Oh wait, he's thinking as a dream. Whatever he's thinking is becoming. Because the wolves of Miwu. Yeah. Who the hell is this? Oh, it's a Cube. So what the? Who's that? Oh, it's Katsura. What? Yeah. What? All right. Obviously, we have Gorilla. Yes, he's a. I don't think that's why. Yeah. Oh, Sachan. Makes sense why he's a sloth. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Right. Yeah, think about something else. Kotodama. Oh no. Oh, okay, that'll be interesting. Oh no, you're gonna get sued to oblivion. But it's just Gintama. They don't. Oh, I thought they were going to become like video game characters, which have like copyrighted. Never mind. I thought it was going to go in a different direction. Bruh. Yeah. Yep, exactly. I was gonna say that they just look. What? It is always a. Yeah, true. Okay. Ugh. Oh, bruh. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Oh no. Oh, that's what. Wow. Yeah. Right. Uh, What? Right. Seventh. What? Yeah. I was gonna say. That's why they're all just. Yep. A good point. Wow. What? Wait, okay, what? Yeah. Yeah. It's a demon. Alright. Oh my god, now you have to act it out. Well, Shimpachi failed then. Well, fantastic. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, they censored him. Yo. Right. Someone here for advice, you usually know the solution deep down. Okay. What the? Oh, that's why. Wow, he said it again. Yeah, really? Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, someone's here. Who's that? It's Shimpachi. Oh, we know who it is. Yeah, you think so? Yeah. And it's pretty obvious. The silhouette and the voice. Damn. Wow. Well, it's difficult for you because all the others are just, yeah. Most of the time, most of the time he's the Sukomi. Yep. That's true. Ah. Oh, you want to be the teacher? I. Hmm. There's a technique to play the Sukomi. Wow. They went back to their. Yup. Their whole routine. That's because there's so many. Right. I don't think he'll be able to do it because there's a certain technique to it. That is awful. Yeah. Well, you don't have any other students coming. Yeah. Bruh. 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, he did. Kind of. Oh my god, it's Kagura. Alright, well, school princess? Um. Yeah. Right. What? Alright. Yeah. Yeah. What the hell? You're doing magic tricks now? Yeah, you just. Oh god. Yeah, that's what. Okay. Oh my god. Nah, that's true. Yeah. That, no. Right. Oh, she's here. Wait, what? Oh. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Alright, you don't even have the sensor on you. Oh, that's why. Yeah. Wait, what? What the hell are you then? Is he like in. Um, yeah. Right. Myopachi Sensei. Right. Okay, that is horrible. Okay. No. Okay. You know what? Maybe it's better for you not to be. Right. I feel like I was gonna say Satchana isn't here. So she was there already. Yep. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god! That was Natto. Okay. Oh god. Yeah. Oh damn. Okay, so that's his so that's his catchphrase in this show. I'll sue you. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, is it out? Ah, there you go. Well, you can leave. Alright. Oh my god, this is all of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, alright. Okay. Oh no. That's funny. No, ending time. We still haven't seen Tama. Or she'll come later, I guess. No, it's common. Okay. All right, I think that's it. And there you go. That was the second episode. So today we had wait, didn't they say we would have 3 sections? We had 2 sections, right? First was the whole exam. Oh no, sorry. First was the Gintoki or Ginpachi, thinking about the students becoming like like animals, elementary schoolers, and like video game characters. That part. Then we had the oh yeah, we did have 3 parts. Then we had the exam, right? And then we had the confession. Okay, yeah, we did have 3 parts to it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we had 3 sections today. Um, the first part was whatever Ginpachi Sensei was thinking. That was what was happening. At first, he thought that, oh, these are like our elementary schoolers, and they ended up becoming elementary schoolers. And obviously, the whole joke about this whole section was basically that like the different characters, like the how they were transforming, kind of reflected how their personality was and everything. For example, when all of them were elementary schoolers, you could see like what's his name, Hijikata was basically playing with mayonnaise like always. Then we had Kondo, Madao, and that guy. I forgot his name. The slimy guy. All of them, like just him just playing with slimes, and then they're just like doing weird stuff. We had the girls just playing, like that game. I don't know what that game is. While we had Catherine just sitting there from the sidelines, just commenting on how, oh, that's like little kids do that, and she's one of those kids. We had I forgot the character's name, Hedero, right? Him just in the main character seat, just sitting down doing nothing. He probably wants to participate in the other people's activities, but he's probably too shy to ask them. Um, and yeah, obviously Kondo being an absolute, like crazy person in front of Tai, and Tai beating him up. Yeah, so and when all of them started hounding the teacher about like different stuff. Yeah, it's pretty funny, that whole section. And then he thought of all of them um as animals in a zoo. Now this part is, I guess you could say, it has a lot of like underlying jokes in it. For example, obviously, like the pretty obvious ones are Kondo being a gorilla, because that's literally what everyone kind of tells him. Um, there are a few subtle ones. For example, I would say like Hijikata's one was a bit subtle one, because he's a wolf. Like looking at him, you can kind of get the feeling that he would be a wolf, but I feel like there's a deeper like thing behind it, which is, I think, like the Shinsengumi are called the wolves of Mibu, so that's why I think he was a wolf here, in a way, Then we had Sogo was a Black Panther. Even my thoughts are done. And then we have the like Jubei, oh no, sorry, Kyubei being the, wait, oh my god, I always forget her name. Is it Jubei or is it Kyubei? Oh my god, Kyubei, Yagi Kyubei. Yep. It's been a while. Zura being this crazy, the hair and everything. Oh, another thing I realized, I literally made the whole thing. I made like a statement in the previous episode where I said that I feel like there was a good opportunity for Zura to do the whole Zura Janai Katsurada thing, but he didn't do it. And now I realize in today's episode they have changed his catchphrase. Now whenever you call him Zura, he says, I'll file a complaint. File a complaint. He just says that. Even in the previous episode, he said that. Okay, Elizabeth is just a penguin. And then we have the... Okay, so... Tai being a gorilla, the joke the underlying joke here, I'm assuming, is because people like say that she acts like a gorilla, like she has like crazy strength, and she, I guess that's why she's a gorilla. But obviously, we have Kondo being very happy about that fact. Catherine is also a gorilla, but she's also a cat, which makes sense because of the ears and everything. But yeah, alright. And then obviously we have Kagura as a cat, which kind of makes sense. She is a, like, what can I say? She acts like a cat, mischievous, and, just does whatever. So yeah. Oh, and obviously Madao being a sloth makes sense. Sachan being a lemur. Yeah, and then the retro, like the game thing. I was thinking they were going to bring in some characters, like each of the characters is going to be like a character from another game or something. I was thinking maybe like Street Fighter or like, like other stuff. So I was like, oh my god, if they do something like that, crazy copyright, but they didn't do that. So I was like, okay, but this is Gintama we're talking about, like, they don't fear copyright. They've done some crazy stuff. But yeah, and then we had the whole Shonen Jump characters, and in the end, Gintoki was like, wait a minute, we are actually from the Shonen Jump, so it makes sense, everyone looks like them. And then Gintoki, like Ginpachi has become Gintoki, that part. A really fun little section. And then we had the exam part, and this part was absolute craziness. We get to see the whole section from Shinpachi's point of view, so you can see like Shinpachi trying to think of the answers, but all the questions, it was made by Ginpachi. All the questions were, it seemed as if it's poking fun at Shinpachi, so Shinpachi just got pissed off at that. And then we had the random like people just screaming like Dragon Ball Z references, like, because there's like, like Gintoki made like questions like that. Right. The whole punchline of the, of the section was basically Shinpachi getting pissed off at the end, tearing it apart, and then Ginpachi coming the next day and saying like, oh, sorry guys, I the paper, it got destroyed. I spilled ramen broth on your answer. You'll have to do it again. And Shinpachi doing the whole Krillin reference at the end. Yeah. I love how they censored his dress. Like, what? Oh my god. But I guess it makes sense because obviously, the dress is it's a Dragon Ball Z dress. But the reason why they didn't censor his face is probably because, the face was just Shinpachi's face. So they didn't need to censor the face. Okay, I would say though, my favorite part was obviously the student consultation. That part was hilarious. I think that part is like the funniest in today's episode. Because, we get to see all the characters come with their problems, and the best one was Shinpachi's one. I'll have to give it to his, like, what he wanted was absolute comedy. He wanted to be a Tsukkomi. And obviously, like, we all know, like, Gintama has the whole gag, like the whole manzai comedy kind of routine going on, where almost all of the characters are literally the bokeh, while a very few characters are the Tsukkomi. Shinpachi is the main one who's always there. Like, someone says something outrageous, Shinpachi acts as a Tsukkomi, or the straight man as they call it. So Shinpachi apparently wants to be the bokeh, and that is his problem. Now I was thinking, I was like, it's not going to work out because Shinpachi is made for being the Sukkomi. You you cannot imagine anyone other than Shinpachi being the Sukkomi, and I'm pretty sure even if there's other people, they would not be able to execute it as flawlessly as Shinpachi. And in the same way, in the reverse manner, if you think about it, Shinpachi is not cut out to be the the bokeh. He's not cut out to be that. He is cut out to be the Sukkomi. Like I said, I cannot imagine him in any other setting. So in the end, he does try once, but it fails horribly in my opinion. He was like fidgeting, looking as like side by side, like blushing and everything while telling the whole joke. So, and obviously Ginpachi had a very lackluster Sukkomi to it, so it didn't really work out at the end. So it's kind of funny because like that section, Ginpachi was trying to kind of help him out with that. So he was like, fine, I'm going to play as the Sukkomi. But then Shinpachi ends up being the Sukkomi again. Where is that part? I cannot find it. Just a minute. Here we go. This part. So Shinpachi's like, but you do play the fool every now and then. This was supposed to be the line, the joke, the bokeh. As often as Halley's Comet comes around, I'd say. It's the same like line that Ginpachi used in the previous scene. So this was supposed to be the whole joke, the bokeh, and Gintoki was supposed to act like the Sukkomi. Yeah, it goes horrible. His Shinpachi's execution was horrible. He was blushing, fidgeting around, looking side by side. That's not how you execute it. And then Ginpachi says it's in such a stoic manner, it absolutely makes the joke fall flat. Ginpachi says, like, nandeane. Well, obviously the translation doesn't do it justice. The translation is, what the fuck, my man, that translation. But, it was the whole nandeane, the whole, like, the bokeh with the Kansai accent, dialect. But it was so flat that immediately Shinpachi becomes the Sukkomi to that. Sukkomi to that. So this is the funny part, that even though they try to reverse their roles, immediately it ends up being Shinpachi being the Sukkomi and him being the bokeh. I don't know. I think they call this like a Nori Sukkomi or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But where you try to be like a Sukkomi, like you to try to do like this whole like gag comedy like thing, manzai comedy thing, but it doesn't end there. It keeps continuing. I think that's like you like reverse the Sukkomi. So it's called Nori Sukkomi, right? That was it, and this is why Shinpachi is going to be the eternal Sukkomi in this show, because that's the role he plays the best. Because immediately he immediately turns into a Sukkomi. And he himself says that. Here we go, too brutal. Could you at least try a little? And why the acronym? Wait, I'm playing the straight man again. Here we go. So yeah, it doesn't work. Like, Shinpachi is the Sukkomi, the eternal Sukkomi. But you know what? I can kind of, I can understand him wanting to play the bokeh once or twice. Like, even if you are really, I don't know, like good at something, sometimes you might want to like mix things up. So he wanted that. But it didn't really work out, unfortunately. And Ginpachi Sensei couldn't care less about it. So yeah, Shinpachi's section was the best in this whole part, I think, because I just love the fact that he even came up with something like this. He was like, oh, I just want to play the bokeh for once. And yeah, this part was the best part. And then we had the other things as well, where Kagura just asking about like making her chest bigger and all that, and then just brings out Hedero. Then we had Kondo being like, oh, how can I attract Tai's attention? And Tai just coming and Tai's problem was about Kondo, so she solved her own problem immediately. Hichikata's was pretty fun as well because he was like, I'm not here to say any kind of trouble or anything. I'm here to complain to you. And he wants to be the main character. Like, this part was also pretty funny. Like, I like how Gintoki literally just references Sorachi. And he's like, oh, like, yeah, I know that guy. Like, I'll tell him to make a like a manga for you where you will be the main character. But it turns out, if he becomes the main character, nah, it's not going to work out. He's going to make everything mayonnaise related, so it's not going to work out. And obviously, the whole joke about Sachan always being there inside that closet. So, oh god, Katsura being a complete menace here, you know, and then everyone else having some absolutely like mundane and just useless like thoughts, like stuff like, oh, I get itchy under my eye patch, or can I get a part-time job, which was obviously Madao's request. Yeah, so there you go. Like, Ginpachi Sensei wanted, like, he was forced into this whole like, listen to your students' problems. Now he's like, what the hell is this? These aren't even problems, these are just everyday life. And they just bring it to me. But yeah, but like I said, throughout this whole section, Shinpachi's one was the best because it was just funny to see how he wanted to be the bokeh, and yeah, that whole section. Either way, another funny episode. As like I said, there were a few. You could say like a few. There were a few jokes that I think went over my head, which I didn't get the reference to, but I think I got most of the references. There were a lot of Dragon Ball references today. Especially in that exam part. Um, then, what else? Yeah, then I think that was the only reference we had today, right? Yeah, the only reference that we had in today's episode was the Dragon Ball references. Other than that, there were like wordplay jokes and all that stuff. So those were there. But yeah, today's episode didn't really have that much like like references or anything. Only the Dragon Ball references. Yeah. Right, and there you go. That was today's episode. Let's see. I'm guessing we'll probably meet the other characters later. From the opening, we can see that we have the other group. The Kiheta is there. I think like the Kihetais like are probably delinquents or something, which would make sense. Then we have the teaching staff as well. I think like wait, what was her name? That girl. The that lady, the girl who likes Gintoki. Suyu. Wait a minute. Tsukio, yeah. Tsukio is there, and Otai was there. Obviously, we saw that. Just a minute, let me check. I need to check who are there in the teaching staff. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, oh, okay. Otai is there. Obviously, we saw Otai. She's like the chairman or something, vice chairman. We have Hattori there. Right? Yeah. Masudaira is there. Yeah, and Tsukio is there. We have what was his name? Oh God, Sakamoto, right? Yeah, Sakamoto there. And then we have that guy. the researcher guy, the right. You know what? I guess it makes sense why this is like the teaching staff. I'm assuming Sukyo is like the nurse or something. She's like, or maybe not. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, it makes sense. This like like makes sense. I was thinking there was like they did a pretty interesting thing about the students. Like like you can see like the characters that they made students. They are like like they have like a like between each of the characters there's a chemistry between them. Like for example, we have obviously we have Tai and uh, Cube. Both of them are there as a student, which makes sense. They have a connection. Well, obviously we have the Shinsengumi members as students as well because they have a connection between them. Elizabeth and Katsura are both students because of their connection. Like each of the students, obviously Shinpachi and like Kagura are also there. So it makes sense like why they are the students. The Kihetai, they are also the students. They have a whole like group of them. So it makes sense why they are kind of interconnected, and that's why they're students. In the teaching staff, you can see this group is probably because obviously Masudara is always was someone who was like the top of the Shinsengumi. Like he was like that guy, like who like the police officer guy. I've forgotten what his actual role was in the story. I've forgotten. But anyways, so it makes sense why he is like a teaching staff. Otai also makes sense. Hattori, he's an interesting choice for this. Tsukio, it makes sense why she is here because I guess they put her in the teaching staff because of her whole connection with Gintoki. Because the whole like like her liking Gintoki and all that. So it makes sense why she's in the teaching staff. Sakamoto also makes sense kind of because he was always like a isolated character, you could say. Like not really isolated, but so yeah, the teaching staff makes sense, while the students also make sense because like each of the students have like a certain connection to each other, and that's why they're all the students. I do wonder if we're going to see other characters which we haven't seen, like for example maybe like characters who were there but who weren't like recurring characters, like maybe like the Shogun or something. It'd be pretty funny to see. Like I do wonder, even if the Shogun is here, what type of role will he play? Will he be like part of the teaching staff, or I don't know. um like yeah, and like the other characters that were there in Gintama. I do wonder if we'll see them. But the thing is, like, if we get to see, if they actually plan on including each and every Gintama character who were significant in the story, there'll be a huge cast. And I don't know how they're going to, if they plan on doing that, how they're going to make that happen, because this is a high school setting. Like, you will have like a threshold of amount of characters you can put into it. So you know what, let's wait and see. I'm looking forward to meeting the other characters. So so yeah, and there you go. That was it. That was today's episode number 2 of 3-nen Z-gumi Ginpachi Sensei. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.